previous class, we started the new lesson microorganisms, friend and foe. I explained you what is meaning of the microorganisms and its types and examples for the microorganisms. And we discussed about the where it is present, where we can find out the microorganisms. And we discussed about the some of the microorganisms are very useful. It is not harmful for the human beings or other living things. Some of the microorganisms is very harmful, for example viruses. So these and all I explained you, and uses of microorganisms like a friendly microbes. Friendly microbes means it is using for the food preparations and the medicine industries that and all. So these types of the microorganisms are friendly microbes or microorganisms. And today we are going to discuss about, and one more thing I forgot, we discuss about the antibiotic also. Antibiotic means what? The medicines is stop growing the microbes or disease in our body. So that type of antibodies are very important. It is produced naturally in our body. So that is called antibiotics. In this class, that's it. In the last class we discussed about, and this class we will discuss about the vaccines. What is mean by vaccine? Vaccines are act like antibodies, like antibiotics. I told you, no, in our body only antibodies will be produced. In that, how it will be work in our body means whenever the invaders, whenever the unwanted microorganisms or disease will be entered in our body, by the time it will be it will be prevent that microorganisms, it will be prevent to enter in our body. Once it will enter also, it will be kill or stop going the microbes. So that kind of antibiotics are called. Even the same thing, vaccines also act like antibiotics. Vaccines are what does mean by vaccine means vaccines are act like an antibodies. I told you before only antibodies means it is produced in our body to against for the entering microorganisms. So like that it will be activated to prevent the disease. So the vaccines are act like the antibodies to prevent the disease what is entering to our body. So now take out your textbook page number 21 vaccine. When a disease-carrying microbe enters a body, the body produces antibodies. So whenever the microbes enters in a body, our body only automatically produces naturally the antibodies to fight the invader. Invader means like a microbe. Suddenly it's entered in our body means it will be fight against to the invaders. The body also remembers how to fight the microbes if it enters again. So our body know how to fight against the disease through the antibodies. If later weakened microbes are introduced into the healthy body, the body fights and kills the invading bacteria by producing suitable antibodies. So not only for the bacteria, whatever the microbes will be entered to the body, by the time the antibodies will be produced automatically in our body and will be prevent the entering the disease. The antibodies remain in the body and we are protected from the disease causing microbes forever. So this type of antibodies will be permanently in our body. Whenever the microbes will be entered to our body, by the time the antibodies acts against by the microbes. So like this, the vaccines also will be act in our body. The antibiotics are manufactured by growing specific microorganisms and are used to cure a variety of diseases. So this type of antibodies specifically can be manufactured by particular microorganisms disease. So that type of particular microorganisms disease will be entered to our body means we have to kill the particular microbes only. So that type of antibodies will be produced and manufactured by from the microbes only. That is called vaccines. Antibiotics mixed with the feed of livestock and body to check microbial infections in animals. So this type of antibodies, first it won't be directly checked by the through the human beings. First they will check for the animals. They are also used to control many plant diseases. Not only this kind of antibodies are not only for the human beings, for the animals, even the plants also it will be used for to prevent or kill to the microorganisms or the disease. It is important to remember that antibiotics should be taken only the advice of the qualified doctor. This kind of antibodies should not be taken our individuals or in our own. We should be as the doctor prescribe them only we have to be taken now. Next is the disease causing microbes for vaccines works. Whatever the disease will be causing to our means enters to our body, the time the vaccines will be fight against like antibodies. The several diseases including cholera. What type of the disease will be enter to our body means to fight against this types of disease like a cholera. Cholera example. This cholera, tuberculosis. So what are the diseases caused by the virus and the bacteria? For example, cholera is there. It's a waterborne disease. Cholera is a waterborne disease. Through the water, contaminated water only, we get this disease. What are the symptoms for this means? Continuous vomiting and the diarrhea will go and stomach pain will become. At last, the person will be die also because the electrolytes will be reduced in our body. By the time we won't get the enough of energy and the electrolytes in our body. So by the time what will happen, the person will lose total energy of our body. That's what he will be dying at last. So that's the cholera. And next tuberculosis, TB, will be telling the TB. It's a lungs problem. It's a lungs disease that once it will be the person will be affected. Tuberculosis means the lungs will be spoiled and he cannot breathe properly and the breathing problem will be come. And the smallpox. Smallpox means like a smallpox, chicken pox, you know very well. In the summer times, excess of more heat in our body will be getting high temperature. As soon as our body, on our body, the marks will become like a pimples like that it will become. No? So that in the previous, the old days there is no medicines for this. So once the persons will be getting the high fever will be reached in our body means the persons will be die or some other problems will be affected as soon as for this smallpox and the chicken pox. And hepatitis. Hepatitis is also the lung cancer. It's like tuberculosis, how the lungs will be affected. The hepatitis will be means will infect the lungs cancers. Cancers is the good cells, the healthy cells will be die and as soon as it will be produced to the cancer cells. So these types of the disease in the ancient, in the past days is very dangerous and very difficult to cure the disease. So this type of disease there is no medicine, there is no vaccine. So nowadays only they found that vaccines against for the cholera, tuberculosis, smallpox and the hepatitis. So these are the types of infections. This is after once the microbes or disease will be entered to our body, we can start to vaccine. That is too late. So nowadays, what they are doing when the child born only, they are giving they segregate the injections from the birth to the till 5 years, from the birth to the 12 years. Nowadays, from the birth to the till 15 years, 20 years also, they are giving for the vaccines. So that is doses like that they will be separated, first dose, second dose, third dose like that they are separate and they are giving. At the birth only the child will be getting ready for the to prevent against the disease. So that type of vaccines, list of vaccines we have to be prepared. Some examples of the vaccines I am going to give now. Vaccines at birth we are giving 0 to 6 months we are giving for the hepatitis B. This is this type of hepatitis B vaccines we are giving. That is at birth we are giving BCG. Example for the vaccines. Now example, what are the vaccines we are giving at the birth of the child? At birth we are giving BCG. BCG means it's infections against by the bacterial infections. For example, tetanus, whooping cough. This type of infections once the baby will be at the beginning only if we give the vaccines means in the lifelong the baby won't be getting this type of bacterial infections. So that is BCG at the birth when the baby born. At the next within 1 hour or 2 hours only they will be coming with the BCG injections. And next 0 to 6 months they will give the hepatitis vaccines. This I told you before only to fight against the lungs cancer cells. So that is the hepatitis they are giving 0 to 6 months. vaccine. And 0 to 12 months we have to do the MMR. This is triple injections, doses they will be divided there. So these also the viral infections, measles type, chicken pox, rabies, this and that is coming under this MMR. This is a must. We have to do at birth BCG and 0 to 6 month hepatitis and 0 to 12 months is the MMR. These natural vaccines we have to compulsory give for the birth in a baby. Next 0 to 5 years, you know everyone very well. Now polio drops they are giving for the babies. So those are the 0 to 5 year babies. For everyone, yearly 2 times the government has given the polio drops. So this polio disease means what? Suddenly the baby 0 to 5 years babies suddenly they will be get the infection means they cannot walk properly. The one leg won't be work properly. So that type of disease against this polio drop they are giving. So these are the examples for the vaccines. Vaccines are very important. Lifelong it should be fight against by the microbial infections. Next is this vaccine invented by Edward Jenner discovered the vaccine for smallpox in 1798. So in the year 1798, the scientist Edward Jenner discovered the vaccine for smallpox. I told you know in the summers we are getting for the high temperature with the mass upon our body. So that type of severe infection for that vaccine Edward Jenner invented 1790 for the vaccine. So our very first Edward Jenner invented the vaccine for the smallpox. And it is essential to protect all children against this disease. Necessary vaccines are available in the nearby hospitals. You might have seen the advertisements on TVs and the newspapers regarding protection of the children against polio under the pulse polio programs. Polio drops given to children are actually a vaccine. So I have explained you what type of the vaccines are given at the childhood. It's very important to prevent and protect the disease lifelong further. So that's the uses of vaccines. A worldwide campaign against smallpox has finally led to its eradications from most part of the world. So, in the past times, there was no vaccines. No, by the time the World Health Organizations they are took the proper decisions at the very proper time. They have to be find out the proper vaccines in that particular disease. These days, vaccines are made on a large scale for microorganisms. How they are making the vaccines from the microorganisms only. In the beginning, I told you some of the microorganisms are friendly. It is using for us. So, like that kind of, for example, bacteria. From that kind of microorganism, they are making the vaccines large scale to protect humans and other animals from several diseases. So, why we are using these vaccines means to protect and prevent the disease for the human beings, animals, and the plants from the particular microorganism. So the vaccines are very important. We have to be take in our life the vaccines and the from the at the birth means the lifelong the child will get any types of this type of very dangerous microbial disease. Next, increasing soil fertility. That's it in this vaccine. Next is the increasing soil fertility. Some of the microorganisms it is using to improve the soil fertilities. Like in the soil naturally it is having the nutrients. So along with that, some of the microorganisms will increase the fertility of the soil. What type of the microorganisms we'll see? Next, other uses of microorganisms. What are the other uses of microorganisms? Means to increase the soil fertility. In the previous lesson, I told you by preparation of the soil for the crop protection. Before crop protection, we have to prepare the soil for the crop growing. So that time I told you soil preparation is by the time the soil is have the more number of microorganisms in it. It will be useful for to increasing the fertility and some of the nitrogens and nutrients in the soil. So that type of microorganisms is very important for the soil. So to increase the soil fertility, what it will be do the some of the microorganisms, it will be increase the fertility and it will be add the nutrients for the soil. So for example, cyanobacteria and blue-green algae. So this particular type of bacterial microorganisms are to improve and give the more amount of the nutrition and it will improve the nutrition in the soil. So that type of microorganisms are called biological nitrogen fixers. It will be increase the nitrogen nutrient in the soil. Which of the organisms? Cyanobacteria and the blue-green algae. This type of organisms are very important to improve the nitrogen fertility in the soil. Next, what is the use of the microorganisms? Cleaning the environment. How it will be used to cleaning the environment? We can see in our street, wherever we are seeing they are throwing and going for the garbages. No? So here two types of garbages. That is, one is biodegradable and non-biodegradable things. Biodegradable and non-biodegradable garbages. So biodegradable means you know very well, like kitchen waste, like vegetable cuttings, fruits cuttings, papers, dust particles, whatever. This is all is like a plants disposals, animals. This and all is the biodegradable. It can be able to decompose by the microorganisms. So that type of biodegradables can be able to decompose by the some of the good bacteria in our soil. So whenever we are doing this type of biodegradable things, it will be decomposed by the microorganisms and it is converted to the some substance in there. So that substance are called manures. So that manures are using for the crop protection, like extra nutrition for that. In the previous class, I explained you what is the meaning of the manures. So this is the biodegradable things. Next, non-biodegradable things, it cannot be able to decompose by the microorganism. So it's very important in our environment. Those are the microbes are there, like a bacteria will be decompose the waste things, or it will be decompose the biodegradable things, and it will be clean our environment. These two things are very important uses of microorganisms. Next, we are going to discuss about the harmful microorganisms.